Today I'm going to be covering all the Star Wars Vintage Collection and Black Series reveals from Hasbro Pulse's Fan Fest and how you can have your say on the upcoming repack waves. Today Hasbro held their Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest Day on YouTube. It was a live stream, streamed earlier today, and of course there was lots of reveals for all of their other brands like Transformers and G.I. Joe, but of course we're here to focus on the Star Wars stuff. So without any further ado, let's get into those reveals. Now, starting off with the Vintage Collection, they first of all showed some of the Repack Wave. These are the sort of stuff that was initially intended as a fan channel item, but they did end up making their way to regular retail. They've confirmed that they will be moving these to a new SKU to avoid this happening in future. It'll avoid peg warming, hopefully, and over-ordering by regular retail, so this shouldn't cause too much of a problem going forward. Now, like I say, as these are repacks, these are all figures we've seen before. It's Luke Skywalker in the Hoth battle gear. This one they have updated with photoreal and also going to be more accurate paint colours to the shoulder pads and the gloves in particular they mentioned, but I imagine there's going to be slight differences all across the figure. It is a good figure. I have this one previously. Lovely card back as well, so if you haven't got him already, do be sure to pick this one up. Next up is Han Solo in his Endor outfit. This one again updated with photoreal deco and also more accurate colours again, with a slightly more muted colour to the fabric coat that he comes with. This is an older figure, initially released back in 2011, I believe. So yeah, quite an older figure on that one, but if you haven't got him, it's a nice addition. And the photoreal really does look like it's making a huge difference to that sculpt. So even if you have got him, you may want to be getting this one loose as well. Worth noting that this one is on the Return of the Jedi card back. He has obviously been released on a Return card back in the past, but also a Revenge of the Jedi card back as well. So yeah, just that slight little difference. The third figure in this wave is Admiral Akbar. Now this one is nearly identical to the 2011 release, so if you've already got that one, you're pretty much good on that one. But if you did miss out on it, here's another chance for you to get this figure. It's going to be on very much the same card back as well, the usual slight updates that they've done to all of these modern repacks. The final figure in the wave is the Imperial Royal Guard. Now again, they've updated this one with photoreal deco, and the cloak also has a better fit around the shoulders. I know that was a complaint that many collectors had with the initial one, as it did look quite over the top and quite big on the figure. Could be fixed with some water to actually flatten it down, but they've actually gone right to the cloth pattern itself, and they said they've sorted that out. This figure comes with a lot of extra accessories, so you can recreate the figure from the Expanded Universe comics, where they was actually in the training gear as well. So again, definitely worth picking up this one if you haven't already. He was re-released in the Black Series red box line, so again, he has seen circulation fairly recently, but this card back does go for quite a premium on the secondary market, so definitely worth picking this one up. Moving on to some more Vintage Collection reveals, the Black Series have already got a line of figures called the Gaming Greats. Now Hasbro are looking to transfer that over to the Vintage Collection as well, and we're going to be getting 4 figures from this line in the upcoming months. They started off by showing us the Heavy Battle Droid. This is from Battlefront 2, and it's in a copper type of camouflage colour. This is actually a repaint of the standard 2012 Battle Droid. A decent figure for the time, if a little spindly and rubbery. Hopefully they're using a slightly harder plastic on this one. It does complete with a E5 Battle Droid rifle and a DLT-19 Heavy Blaster rifle to just give you a bit of variety in how you display this. So a decent army builder, should do quite well. Nice card back, I do quite like this one, and I like the little Battlefront logo just above the Kenner on the front there. It's a nice little touch, I think. Next up is the Shadow Trooper from the Force Unleashed. Now this is the figure that I'm really excited about from all of the reveals today in terms of the single figures. I think this one looks absolutely fantastic. They're using a translucent plastic to actually give it that sort of slightly see-through phasing between visible and see-through part of the figure, with also a spray over the other portion of the plastic so that it looks like you've got it somewhere in between. Some really nice neon deco to highlight some of the accents on there as well, and yeah, absolutely fantastic. And of course it's using the Rogue One Stormtrooper as its base figure, so really good start to it. really looking forward to getting this one in hand. Looking at the card back as well, I think this is a really good image actually. I'm quite impressed with what they've chosen. I think the light blue background that they've chosen for the name pill is a really good choice, certainly with the slight accents that you've got on the figure. Up next was the Scout Trooper from Jedi Fallen Order. This one is a repaint of the Black Series 3.75 inch orange line Scout Trooper, but this time they fixed the shoulder joints. So whereas previously they were black rings that they were using to attach to the body, this time they're using white ones, and it blends in much better. Looks like a really decent change there to have that switched over. This one also has a double jointed neck joint, which is a nice addition. Helps you pose it in various different ways. The figure itself has come under a bit of criticism in the past for the way that the hips are actually done in it. Some collectors aren't that keen on it, and also feel that it should have some slightly more articulation in the wrists. I still quite like this sculpt. I don't think it's too bad. I think there's other figures that are more in need of an updated sculpt than the Scout Trooper, so I don't have a massive problem with them re-releasing it here. Again, very nice card back that it comes with. The pike that he's got there in his hands, the electric details are able to be taken off should you wish to display it separately, but yeah, all in all, quite a nice figure. And finally we have the Electrostaff Purge Trooper. Again, this is from Jedi Fallen Order. This is a brand new sculpt, and indeed a character debut, as they used to call them, in the 3.75 inch scale. Black Series have already got him, obviously, but again, he's finally coming to TVC. Love the purple background that they've given this character. Really helps set off the figure behind it on that card back. He again comes with the Electrostaff, as I said, again with removable shock effects on that one. So yeah, very nice additions to the collection. We just need a Cal Kestis figure at some point for him to fight against. And for me, probably the highlight of the live stream was indeed Blue Leader's X-Wing. This is something that should have come out a couple of years ago when Rogue One was released. However, they obviously didn't do it. Now, with hindsight, obviously 2016 Vintage Collection wasn't back yet. Give it that extra couple of years, it's there now, and this vehicle looks fantastic. It is a repaint of the Luke Skywalker X-Wing that we got last year, a couple of years ago now. This time it comes with some amazing extra detail that they've taken straight from the movie reference, and they also said that this is the result of a fan petition. So it does go to show that the petitions do work. If you see something you like out there, start a petition or sign it to help Hasbro make these sensible decisions and get these toys into the line. Now, normally these types of vehicles come with the action figures sold separately, but in this case they're actually going to be releasing General Antok Merrick single carded in with the vehicle. So if you want to keep one on card and one to open, you are going to end up having to buy two X-Wings, which is a bit frustrating, if I'm perfectly honest, because a lot of us, I know, need to have that carded figure for the display, and they'll also want that loose figure to put in the X-Wing. So a little bit naughty on that one, especially as I said, at the moment they haven't got any intentions to release this figure single packed elsewhere. So just bear that in mind. Now, no packaging revealed at the moment. This will be revealed at a later date on Hasbro Pulse's Instagram, so do keep an eye out for that. It is going to be a Target exclusive in the US and a fan channel exclusive in the UK. This should be available in the fall, and it's not up for pre-order yet, so don't worry, you're not missing it anywhere. They said that they weren't sure if this would go up for pre-order or if it would just suddenly become available or you'd see it on store shelves. Keep an eye open, and if we see anything, obviously we'll shout about it on our social media channels. They also said there's plenty more from Rogue One coming later in the year. The other nice bit of news for the Vintage Collection was that the Razor Crest is well underway. They've made the steel moulds, and indeed it is moving ahead with production very, very nicely. They're very pleased with what they've seen so far. They have also got the photo shoot done for the box art. No box art yet to see, but they did show us a couple of little sneak peeks, as you can see in these photos here. They also confirmed that they shot a behind the scenes video, and that's something that will be coming a little bit later on when they'll release the whole thing, but for now obviously these are just to whet your appetite. That's not quite everything from the vintage collection. Do stick around and I will tell you how you can have your say in which figure Hasbro will repack in an upcoming fan channel wave. Switching gears to the Black Series now, and Hasbro mainly revealed what their previously revealed pipeline figures were in actual figure form. They started off with General Lando Calrissian. Now I think this is an excellent sculpt, looks very, very close to the actor there. It is all new from top to bottom on this figure. Lovely soft goods cape, and again he's of course going to be coming in a Return of the Jedi packaging. Will butt up right next to your Boba Fett figure if you've already got that one. Lovely figure to be added to your collection. Next up they showed Aura Singh. Now this one is, I think, an excellent likeness to the actor that they had in the film. They did note that the antenna is slightly overscaled, but this is due to the scale that they are working at here, and if they tried to make it any smaller it would end up broken. So that's why they've gone for it slightly bigger than it should be, but it is an essential part of the character, so that's why it is in there, and I think they've made the right choice here. It is really a quite an important part of the character. If you're that fussed about it yourself, you can quite easily cut the antenna off and just stick a pin in there, which was obviously a much closer to the actual scale. We then had another member of the Bad Batch. This is Tech. He comes with a removable helmet, removable backpack, and 3 removable tools, as well as his usual blasters. The tools, they said, these are so you can pose him in various different ways, so you can fix all the bits and pieces that you expect him to do in the series. Again, they've tried to go for some colours very similar to the other Bad Batch characters that they've already released, so that when you've got that ensemble group together, they'll all look really nice together. Next up, they joked that you can't have a live stream without some reveals from The Mandalorian. Now, Q90, or Zero as he was known in the show, is a all-new sculpt. This was a character played by Richard Ayoade in the show. Good fun. I think he's actually a very nice looking figure and will go in very well into your Mandalorian collection. Hopefully they will release the other mercenaries from that episode and round out that crew. But for the time being, here's Zero for your collection. And the final reveal for the Black Series figures was Koska Reeves. Now she has obviously a completely new sculpt. She's very similar in colour scheme to Bo-Katan, but it is slightly different just to be as accurate as possible to the on-screen character. This is an excellent sculpt, really has nailed the likeness of Sasha Banks here, so very well done on that one. I think this is the only one that I'm really tempted to pick up from the Black Series, but yeah, it's again very nice indeed, and she'll fit very nicely next to Bo-Katan. Bit curious as to whether they'll release the other Mandalorian that you see in those episodes, Axe Woves, or whether we just expected to fit her in with the Cara Dune figures, the Mandalorian and the Grogu for that final episode of The Mandalorian Season 2. Either way, I'm sure she will display absolutely fantastically on your shelf and definitely one to look out for. The other Black Series reveal was for a roleplay item, and this was the Wedge Antilles X-Wing pilot helmet. This is a straight-up repaint of the Luke Skywalker helmet that we received last year, but anyone who's got that one already knows that that's a fantastic helmet. Again, this comes with light and sound effects from the Battle of Yavin and Hoth, specific to Wedge. Obviously, previously they were specific to Luke, so yeah, slight difference there. Again, comes with the padded interior. The box itself has got a New Hope-inspired packaging, so they've gone for a slightly orange look on there. It does actually look really nice, the packaging for this box. And again, it's got that slight angle to the corner as they did with the Boba Fett helmet previously. Now, this one is going to be a fan channel exclusive and should be available this summer. So that is it for the reveals for today, but before we get into the Vote from the Vault section, I did just want to ask you to click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and do click the notification bell, because that way you get a notification anytime we go live and release a video as well. So if we go live, it's good to have you guys in the chat and actually get to know each other and answer your questions, all that sort of stuff. It's been a little while since we did our last one, but hopefully we'll have something again up soon and you can get involved with that one. So initially announced at the Hasbro Pulse Premium members preview party, they did say that they are going to be doing a Vote from the Vault. Now that's going to be Hasbro's choice of 5 figures that they are putting up for you to have your say on. Sadly, it is not every figure in the Vintage Collection wave. They have chosen 5 for you to actually say, yes, I want this one, to try and narrow it down a little bit. Now, these figures will be re-released with updated photoreal deco, if applicable, along with the slightly updated card backs to go with them. So, should be very nice. Now, the figures that they have up for selection are the following. There's VC100 Starkiller, aka Vader's Apprentice, VC102 Ahsoka, VC107 the Weequay, VC113 the Republic Trooper from the Old Republic, and VC126 the Imperial Assault Tank Driver. Now you can have your say in heading over to Hasbro Pulse's social media channels and placing your vote for the character that you want to see. Now, as for me, I'm lucky enough to have all of those figures as loose characters, so it kind of comes down to which ones I want carded. I'm also lucky enough to have the Weequay and the Tank Driver as carded figures as well, so it does come down to Ahsoka, Starkiller, or that Republic Trooper. Now, I think, if I'm honest, the Starkiller figure is a bit limited, certainly in the leg articulation, and it could really do with ball joints being added into that area. The face sculpt as well isn't quite perfectly Sam Witwer from those games. It's not a bad figure, don't get me wrong, but it could do with some slight tweaks. So whether they'd ever go back and revisit the figure, I don't know, but this may be the only chance to get that one out there. We'll see. The Tank Driver I do find was a bit of an odd choice. He's not the difficult one to find. It was the Tank Commander that was a tough one, so I'm not quite sure why they've chosen him there. The Weequay, again, with the skiff just being released not that long ago, that would have been a sensible one to have been repacked at the time. Again, like I say, I'm lucky enough, so I won't be voting for that one, but that's up to you. The Ahsoka figure, I think, while she is currently the most expensive TVC card back on the secondary market of that regular mainline run that they did, I'm thinking that they're probably going to re-release her at some point anyway, right? I mean, like I say, that's leaving money on the table if they don't, so I don't really want to waste my vote on Ahsoka, which kind of leaves me with the Republic Trooper. I mean, it's a great army builder. It is actually a really nice figure. I was lucky enough to get them at the Entertainer when they had them in there, but I haven't got it on that TVC card back. So the opportunity to get him on that, for me, would be great. I also think the opportunity for everybody else out there to be able to army build this character for once would be a great shout. So I think for me, that's probably where my vote is going to go. Do let us know where you're going to be placing your vote, though, in the comments down below. I'd be interested for you to try and change my mind before I place my vote. And that is our show for today. Patrick did announce that they are going to be doing another Fan First Friday on or around the 4th of May. Now, the 4th of May is a Tuesday, so I'm not quite sure if that's going to be the one before, the one after. We'll have to wait and see. But, of course, we will be covering that as and when it drops there. And if you follow us on our social media channels, we'll let you know that that is coming up. Speaking of those, we do have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Toys of the Jedi. You can head over there, give the page a like, and all of the images from today will be up in our photo albums on that page. So do check that out. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me today, and until next time.